All right, we're live. Hey, everybody. Once again, pass the mic. Mike Passamonte here, weekly sports talk show. We are now broadcasting on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, which is apparently Periscope, live every week, every Wednesday night from 7 to 9. I'm going to bring on my co-host right now. Got a lot to talk about. We might talk a little bit about this NBA disaster. I want to stay away from the political stuff. You know, too many different opinions out there. We could talk all night about that. But going to talk football. Football season is here. Finally here. They're going to play. We got the pessimist I'm going to bring on in a second. Texting me every day about the positive COVID tests and this, that, and the other thing. They're going to play. They're all going to play. All the games are going to be played. They have too many players that they could plug in. It's not going to affect the season. We see the NBA going forward. We see NHL going forward. We even see baseball going forward. So let me bring on my my co-host. First, I'll bring on – he wasn't on last week. Definitely missed him last week. So we won't have a screaming match this week. We're bringing on Carl Graham. Carl, how you doing?
I'm all right, Mike. It's a nice night right now. It's nice and breezy. It's not hot. I'm ready to talk some sports, just sports, and I can't wait to get into the football season. It's here. Everything's here.
Can't wait. We got. I have 2 drafts this week, fantasy drafts. I can't wait. Cannot wait for it. But let's bring on, and we're going to need him because there was a lot of news today regarding high school football on Long Island. Probably going to start with that. Just get it out of the way. I promise, even once he gets started, I'm not going to let this go more than about 15 minutes because we have a lot of NFL to do. But he is the guru of high school football, Mr. JP from Hypothetical Sports. JP, how you doing?
Doing good. I got a nice breeze. I mean, everybody's doing photo shoots here on the water. It's a beautiful night. Yeah,
you are looking good. Looking good right now. So, all right, guys, let's talk. Let's start with the high school. First of all, I had to have a wardrobe change. I was about to – today, Islanders played at 3 o'clock. They were down 3-0 in like the first 10 minutes. Pulled the goalie. Looked like a disaster. I get on the train to come home. I come home. It's 3-2. They wind up tying the game with 2 minutes left, and then they lose in overtime.
It's a good game. It's a good game. They fought back.
Carl, this team is gonna watch. This team is going to the finals. I'm telling you, they're going to the finals.
Where are they at?
They're 1-1 right now in the second round. They shut out Philly the other night. Today, like I said, they come back from 3-0. The goalie just was not on. They had 7 shots and 3 goals. The goalie was just not on, but they still fought back, tied it up. They are playing better than anyone besides Vegas right now. They're playing better than anyone, and watch. But let's talk about JP, high school football on Long Island. Let's get this out of the way because there was a development today that Nassau County has pushed all their fall sports to the winter-spring time frame, like January, February, right? They're going to look to start. They haven't scheduled yet, and we lost JP. But Nassau has, like I said, pushed back their season. Suffolk has not pushed back their season yet. And I can't hear you, JP. Hold on. You have no... Hello?
Yeah, I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Great idea going all... Great idea. Are you driving?
Well,
I love this. I love this. All right, let me talk.
I'll listen to you when you get home, JP.
I'll talk, yeah. What a disaster. All right, JP is having problems. He decided today was a great day to do an on-location from his car on the water. But, so Nassau County, this is a great start to the show. Nassau County has decided to push their sports from fall to spring. Suffolk County has not done that yet, and there's rumors they're not going to do that. Okay? Now, you have a lot of people thinking now you're going to have the Nassau County kids go and transfer to Suffolk County schools just so they could play.
Wow.
I don't know how I feel about this. JP, are you there? Are you there?
Can't just look at that face.
You know, we have a lot of people on Long Island going crazy. First of all, the Suffolk County people are going nuts. They can't do anything at the football. I'm talking about the football.
You're telling me they're delaying it all the way to the spring? Like
only one county. Now these two counties are intertwined with each other. It's not like, you know, there's two counties on Long Island. They play a Long Island championship every year. They're very close. A lot of the schools are very close to each other, where it wouldn't be hard for you to go from one county to the other. How they didn't get together and get one ruling? Because here's the thing too. The governor still hasn't told them if they can play or not, or when they can play. He's told them that non-contact sports can play, tennis and soccer.
Yeah.
Okay. But football can practice, but they can't play yet, and he'll decide when they can play. He's out of control. He's definitely out of control.
Well, he's out of control, but does he have he has the right to say if he could play or not? Because I know on the other side over here, our governor said that, and our guys said, no, we're playing.
Right.
We're not
so
with that.
What happened, as far as I could tell, in March or April, the state legislature gave him the authority to do anything he wants.
There's enough said.
They gave him the power to do anything he wants to do. And he's canceled everything. He's canceled, gyms. He's canceled anything he feels. And it's so arbitrary. It's so like he'll cancel one thing, but not like you can't go to a gym, but you could go bowling.
Right.
Like it's ridiculous to do.
Yeah.
Are you finally with us?
And I'm back. I actually I had 2 phone calls come in at the same time about something relating to this. Suffolk.
Go ahead.
About Suffolk. Suffolk is right now probably going to follow suit with Nassau. And that's what I just got called to say, and they're going to probably have a meeting within the next week to decide on that fully. But it's funny. I got called twice by 2 different people on this, and they just told me that it's going to happen.
Well, it's got to happen sooner. They can't wait.
And he thinks the state's going to follow.
The rest of the state.
He thinks the whole state's going to follow because there's some sections that won't have teams because half the sections upstate are either going online partial or online fully, and a lot of districts don't feel comfortable right now doing that. It's all superintendents.
Well, here's the problem with it. You have a lot of schools on Long Island that are going full-time school. Some are going half. Some are going half, and some are going full-time. So they could go full-time, but they can't play football. It makes no sense. I understand. I understand why the counties are deciding to push it off because you can't wait. He's not telling anybody anything. He's saying you can practice, and I'll let you know. Like, how long are they going to wait? They can't wait.
It starts next week.
No,
right?
No, not allowed to start. They're talking about not being able to start till like October. Games.
School? I'm talking about school itself.
Yeah, school starts
next week.
Probably the week after that.
Okay,
they go later. They go later than you. Yeah, they go later than you.
Wow. So now it's like almost like a controversy over with college. College schools are canceling football, and some are playing down below.
Yeah, it drives me crazy that
it's nuts.
Pennsylvania can't play college football, but they can play high school football.
Yeah,
makes no sense. But to answer your question, no, the individual counties are not allowed to override the governor in this case and just say we're going to play. They can't do it.
Well, then it's not going to happen then.
Right.
Period.
And here's the thing though, why they made this decision. And I was on the phone with someone earlier today about this. The superintendents made it for the ADs. The ADs had no say. The head of Section 8. He's going to be probably the most hated man in Nassau County in the next few weeks.
Right.
He had no say in this decision whatsoever. He had no say. He basically was told what was going to happen. The superintendents had a meeting. They decided what was going to happen for him. That was it. So.
Well, yeah, they're the ones that should decide it. It's their schools. They're the ones that have to decide whether they're going to play or not. But they had to make this decision because how long are they going to wait? How long are they going to wait until the governor decides what they can or can't do? They're going to get 3 games in, where now they could postpone and they could play, an 8-game season starting in February if they want.
Which makes total sense. And I don't think it's a great idea, but right now I think putting off the season makes total sense. I think you wait till next year.
Is that a flower hanging from your ceiling? What is that? What's that?
That's a pop. That's
the
poppy.
poppy. That's the donation to the veterans.
Okay.
Yes. That's a poppy to the troops.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I love this. Oh, video was such a great idea. Video was such a great idea. All right, guys, let's move off the high school football. That was riveting.
Sorry I was gone. Sorry I was gone for most of this, but I got
kind of still gone. Yeah. You're all over the place right now, but you're doing great. You're doing great. All right, let's talk.
Wonderful. Ain't I?
Let's touch on for 1 second the NBA. NBA tonight had a game. Was supposed to start Milwaukee versus Orlando. As you know, everything that happened in Wisconsin this past week, guy got shot by the cops in the back. He's paralyzed. You have, this is right south of Milwaukee, just south of Milwaukee. So, of course, the Bucks had to react. I don't agree with what they did, but they did what they did. Decided they were not going to play the game. Didn't tell anybody. They just stayed in the locker room and wouldn't come out. Orlando was warming up on the court. Time came to play the game. They realized Bucks weren't coming out. Orlando leaves the court, tells the NBA we're not taking the forfeit, which you're not allowed to do, unless you just say we're both going to forfeit. But okay, I guess that's what they said. Now the NBA, reactionary, canceled the games. Carl, go ahead.
I think it's horrible. No matter what goes on in this world, in this country, it is. You could believe whatever side you're on. I don't care what side you're on. It doesn't matter. It's your belief. It's your opinion. Whatever the facts are out there, it's out there. It's an NBA game. It's a job. They're getting paid to do it. They're out there. And now you can tell that the players are controlling the NBA. It doesn't matter what happens now in sports. It don't matter. Whatever the NBA players want, certain players want, they control. If I was the NBA commissioner, right away I would be throwing fines out. You can't just not show up.
He can't do that, though.
Well, you can't just not show up to the game and say I'm not playing. That's bullshit. It's like you calling up where I'm not working no more. I'll see you Monday. I'll come back. That's all bullshit over something that I understand. They have the right to protest whatever they want. They could kneel. They could do whatever they want toward this, but they shouldn't be taking the stuff outside into the game.
Yeah. I'm kind of torn on this because, while I agree with you in some sense, I also had said from the beginning, from when Kaepernick first started kneeling, I had said, if you want to protest, then don't play. If that's what you want to do, then don't play. But the way the world is now, there's going to be no consequences to them.
But your opinion with the do not play, I agree with that. But you're playing. Don't just not show up and say I'm not playing.
They should have told everyone, but
exactly.
Yeah.
They had to what? They had 2 days.
Yeah.
What they should have done, and I believe they should have done this. You give the NBA notice last night, and the NBA could have put together some package on TNT to highlight social justice, highlight what they wanted to highlight, something you have both teams stand in the court and read something. You could do that, or you have a ton of
that would have been very interesting.
They've been doing it all NBA season.
They've been
doing it all year. I mean,
Must-See TV would be NBA players reading. Yeah. That would have been great.
But it would have been. Here's the thing: they would have read a statement. You could have them read a statement.
Actually, that might have been funny. That might. Have been
I mean, I'm laughing.
Like Chaucer or the Homer. Yeah. All right. Let's move on.
I'm thinking. I'm laughing because I'm saying to myself, this would have been a good idea. You would have at least the NBA would have been able to salvage this. Now they left in a position where they can't salvage this. And honestly, if I'm Adam Silver, I'm like, did I give the players a little too much power here?
That's not how you guys are reading this wrong though. This is not going to go over poorly with the public. It's
Right.
not. It's
It's
going to
very
go
smart
over
doing it.
like
Yeah.
they are heroes. While some people will be upset about it, I think they could have done it in different ways. There's no way that this is going to be thought of as a wrong decision.
No.
Now that they canceled the games.
No, it's
Okay.
just a decision
These
that
guys are
should
going
have
to
been
be
made.
heroes, especially in Milwaukee.
Right. Like what Rogers did today, what Rogers said today. I mean, Rogers didn't do anything wrong. He
Goodell?
didn't say, what he said today is, there's bad cops, there's bad people. The good cops, no matter what you believe in, it's his opinion. He's saying let's the good cops take the bad cops and let's get these bad cops out of here. That's what he said. He didn't say nothing else. Whatever that's his opinion, and that's it. No matter what our opinion is, that's Rogers said it. He didn't say nothing bad about anything. That's his opinion. He moved on.
Yeah, I don't blame them. Whatever you think, whatever you believe, I don't blame the leagues for how they're acting, immediately. I don't agree with how they're going to change all of a sudden. Roger Goodell is this social warrior who's going to say that Kaepernick was right from the beginning. And stop. You're just thinking about your wallet and you're thinking about how you perceive. Nobody believes that. Nobody believes that you believe that.
We could end it off. You could talk, but whatever. I give a lot of credit to the hockey for not even bringing it in.
Yeah, I don't think that was a big issue. But
I'm just saying, any sport.
Just because Milwaukee doesn't have a hockey team. That's why. But listen, there are people that are going to be upset about this. I don't really care. I haven't watched the NBA anyway. It's really turned me off. Just they get. Here's what I'll say too, and because I don't want to get political or anything, but this isn't political. Here's what I'll say: for LeBron James to go crazy about this, and then criticize people who would speak up about Hong Kong that are having every right taken away from them. They're not just getting, abused by cops. They are having everything taken away from him. And LeBron James comes out and says, they shouldn't fight for every, you shouldn't stick your nose in that. You should shut up. LeBron James needs to shut up. Anyone else who believes in this cause, it's fine. But all the players who were upset because the NBA gets hurt a little monetarily from anybody speaking out against Hong Kong or against China, that is bull. That is bull. He needs to shut up.
I agree. You cannot. I agree. You cannot go after. Let's say, like, if you're LeBron James, you have to understand that. Oh, now. You kind of have to take criticism for how you reacted to the Hong Kong situation, for how you reacted to just everything in general. He left himself open for a lot of criticism, and I'm going to say deservedly so, because when you go, because it affected his bottom line, he went against it. I agree with you, because it went against his bottom line and the NBA's bottom line. Deservingly so, he deserves this criticism.
Agreed. And speaking of bottom lines, JP, I don't want to know where your phone is right now. I could just imagine right now where your phone is because it's a really good angle. You look great.
Actually, no, it's on my steering wheel.
Oh, okay.
One man.
That's not where my imagination was going. But hey, Tom Florio,
Oh, it's on my steering wheel.
Let's move on to the NFL. I am so psyched about this season. I really feel like we're in mid-season form right now as far as the Jets go, because today, all day, all you heard about was how Le'Veon Bell and Adam Gase hating each other and lying about hamstring issues, and Bell's not getting the ball enough. And love it. I love it. They had a scrimmage today, a live scrimmage today, where the ones went against the twos, and on both sides of the ball, the twos destroyed the ones. So I love it. But I still can't wait. I can't wait till they start the season. What we're going to do, because it's going to take a while, we're going to go through the NFC and just say what we think. We're going to rate each division and think what's going to happen with with each division. It's hard to tell, of course, beginning of the season. We're always wrong. And I say this every year. You have no idea who's going to be good this year. A couple teams are always good. Always good. The Patriots are going to be good. I don't care about what they lost. They lost Brady, of course, but they're still going to be in the playoffs. They're still going to be there. The Ravens are always good. can't say the Cowboys, but the Packers are going to be there, the Vikings are going to be there, the Saints are going to be there. The same teams are going to be there, right? But there's always turnover. Every single year, there's like 4 teams that make it and 4 teams that don't. Now, we got to keep in mind, and I keep forgetting this in baseball when we're watching, that they added teams. They added a team this year in football. So it's going to be an extra team making the playoffs. So when we decide, you could have an 8-8 team make it easily, and you have no idea who that team's going to be. No idea. Last year, I think it would have been the Steelers and the Rams, right? Which are good teams, but it could be absolutely anybody. So when we think about this, we can talk about it. 49ers last year made the Super Bowl, and they were the number 2 pick the year before.
Yeah.
Number 2 pick in the NFL the year before, in the draft the year before, and they made it to the Super Bowl. So there's no way you could all we could go on is, strength of schedule, what teams did in the offseason. I know Tom Florio, who's on right now, was so down on the Packers after the draft. I'd love to know what he's picking this year, where he's picking them to finish this year. But what do you guys think of the season?
It's right around the corner. I can't wait. You nailed it. You don't know who's going to show up, who's going to get injured, who's going to play different. I mean, we had Tennessee Titans too. I mean, last year, look at Tennessee Titans could have rolled to the Super Bowl. They had a couple plays off,
Yeah.
Kansas City overpowered them there, just came back. I mean, you never know what team's going to do it. There's always a surprise team or 2, and sometimes 3, and, fight back and forth. In the back of our minds, we already got the Super Bowl picked. And usually that's not really right. We're not usually right about that. Even the media is not usually right. Right away, we got Kansas City going to the Super Bowl. You don't know what's going to happen to Mahomes or anything that's going on.
Every year we think that the champion's going to repeat, and unless it's the Patriots, the team never gets back.
Right.
Never gets back. But one thing we know is that all of our teams are going to suck. I could definitely say that but they could all vie for that last wild card spot in the AFC that they just added. JP, what do you think of the season? Are you psyched?
I'm thinking right now as I'm thinking here. The Raiders have a shot at the playoffs for the first time in years. We have a chance.
Last year, weren't they like 3-1 or 4-1? Start the season until they went to the Meadowlands and the Jets kicked their ass.
I think they were.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks. Thanks.
They definitely were.
Well, it looks like you just lost your wide receiver over there. So you got to see what.
Who's
happens.
that?
Yeah.
Who got hurt? Ruggs?
Williams got hurt. Well, he was the number 1 guy.
I think Ruggs is going to be the number 1 guy there this year.
No choice now.
Yeah. So we're going to start with the NFC this week. We're going to go down with the NFC. First of all, give me a team that you think was good last year that's in for a fall this year, in for a slide this year. So it might not be.
I got my hand up for this one.
It might not be a team that's going to not make the playoffs, but it could be a team that's going to fight for the playoffs. Maybe go 9-7 and barely make it in. Go ahead. You can go first.
New England.
JP. We're in the NFC. NFC.
Oh, we're in the NFC. I was going to say New England. Oh, we're going to the NFC first. And you know what? I got a feeling the Packers. They're going to take a little bit of a drop. I think they're going to go even further. I think here's why. I think Rodgers knows this is my last year because I think he's going to pull. I want out of Green Bay next year. I think he's going to pull one of those situations where he's just going to rail on them during the season, be vocally complaining every time they lose, saying everything's terrible here. I hate it here. Get me out.
Right.
And Green Bay's going to have enough. I think Green Bay's in for a disaster. I think they could have a 4-win season.
If they have a 4-win season, Rodgers better retire.
And I put it this way: I think
that's what it comes down to too. If a team like that, with you have a couple of quarterbacks that are on their way out, look like they're on their way out, and if as far as age, And if they come to a season like that, that's probably – look at what happened in San Diego. Sorry, L.A. with Rivers. They finally got him out of there. They had so many seasons like that. But, Carl, give me a team.
I think this team's not even going to make the playoffs.
Go ahead.
San Francisco 49ers. I think the Niners are going to fall down a little bit,
Ooh.
and they're not going to even make the playoffs. And I just think that there's better defense in that division. There's better offense in that division. And I think because of the couple division teams, I think San Fran's going to fall.
I'm going with the same division. But this one's going to shock you because I'm always on this team.
Seattle.
Yeah. I think – let me give you something about Seattle. Last year, they were 11-5, right? Their plus-minus in points was plus 7 points for the season.
Wow.
7 points for the season, and they went 11-5. They pulled a bunch of games out that they probably shouldn't have won, and they did just for the most of the season. They did not play well, but they won games. And yeah, that's the sign of a good team, but that's also a sign of a team that is ready for a fall. And I think this is when Seattle takes the fall. Russell Wilson has carried that team for way too long. Jamal Adams is going to definitely help on the defense, without a doubt. Without a doubt. But I feel like that team is ready to fall. I think it's a tough division. I still believe in the 49ers. They got the defense. Remember, when they were 2 years ago, they lost everybody to injury, including the quarterback. Last year, they had everyone healthy. They have everyone healthy this year. They have, a group, the best running game. It's them, or I think they're better than the Ravens in running, because the Ravens, half their running is their quarterback scrambling, but which still counts, absolutely still counts. But as far as a running game threat, a play action threat, San Francisco is 1 or 2, and you got the Rams, who are still always good. They had a tough season last year too with injuries. I think they're going to come back to the top of the division, and Arizona is ready to make a move. Arizona is ready to make a move. Go ahead, JP.
I got breaking news for you. Section 11 just canceled. Suffolk County just canceled high school athletics in a 7-0 executive session.
So they pushed it to spring?
They canceled. Like, all I know is that no fall.
Sports. Okay.
Pushing to spring.
Terrible.
They're not going to play, which that's why if you lost me for 2 minutes, it was because I had to get that text, and it was told you. I just got that text from 2 people that it's official. They just had the executive session that ended about a half hour ago.
All right. Breaking news. Breaking news from JP. Awesome. All right. So that division. Let's start with that division, Carl. 49ers, Seahawks, Rams, and Cardinals. You got a couple of divisions here. 2 divisions in the NFC that any one of these teams, at least 3 of them, could be one of the best teams in the NFC.
Yeah.
We've seen that. We've seen that. Seahawks going to the Super Bowl time after time. 49ers last year in the Super Bowl. Rams the year before in the Super Bowl. This is a tough division. Now you have the 49ers obviously falling down. I have Seahawks falling down. Who wins the division in your eyes?
Arizona. I really think Arizona's year this year. They stacked up on their defense. They have a good defense. They drafted up high with defense, the best linebacker out of college.
Right.
I think Murray's really gonna. I mean, he had an awesome year last year. Offensive line was crap, and he had an awesome year last year. I think he really steps up his game with a full-time Drake, and now he got Hopkins, and he got Kirk coming out of his second year. He's gonna be good, and he got Fitz in a slot, and I just think that Arizona team's ready. I think I could see 11 games. I could see 11 wins this year.
I'm not going to say no to that because they are poised. They were 5-10-1 last year. They definitely could have been better than that. They have the offense. They got the wide receiver now. They got Hopkins coming. They built up the defense a little bit. I think it's going to take another year for the defense, especially when you're dealing with such offenses in that division. I don't think your defense could come around in 1 year. And they did not have a good defense last year. They might have let up Yeah, they were one of the worst as far as points wise in the conference.
Yeah, they had to put up 40. They had to put up 40 to get close.
Yeah.
To anybody.
Yeah,
And they did.
Well, they won 5 games, but they weren't one of the highest scoring teams either. But that I killed that coach, them for hiring that coach. He definitely had a good system last year, and it's going to take another step. Drake is in a walking boot right now. We'll see what happens with that. They say he'll be ready for week 1, but
I mean,
RJ,
I'm gonna.
is that your boy?
Who?
No, who?
RJ Cohen talking about canceling the season. Someone's on for Suffolk. Listen, here's what I'll say about this, and I want to stay in the NFL, but I said it before. If you want to blame anyone for these seasons being canceled, being postponed, being anything, you have to blame the governor.
Period.
Because the governor is not telling anyone. And, okay, RJ's in Nassau. We just found out that Suffolk also canceled their fall sports. It was a smart thing to do because you can't have these kids start practicing next week not knowing when their season's going to be. And if they're going to have a season that isn't more than 4 games. If he turns around and says they can't start till late October, when are they going to play? They're not going to play into late December. I think it's the best thing to do if they play in the spring right now because the governor isn't telling them anything. So they kind of had to do that. I feel so bad for these kids. These kids that, my son was a senior last year, but these kids that have to, not know if they're going to play, when they're going to play, that are trying to get, looked at by colleges. Forget about like the scholarships, because a lot of the kids that are going to get full rides, they're going to get full rides anyway over their junior year, but you could still get money. You could still get money in your senior year. You could still, turn it on in your senior year and look at who was the kid last year from Plain Edge? JP.
Dan Villari, good old
Villari.
Dan Villari.
Yeah, Dan Villari went through the whole season, and after the last game, he got a full ride to Michigan. So it definitely happens. It definitely happens. But yeah, I feel terrible for these kids. Really feel terrible for these kids. But it's it's everywhere. It's everywhere. None of these states know what to do because they're just, listen. We know what's going on. We know what's going on. As soon as New York gets the stimulus money, they're going to open everything.
Yep.
Everything.
Yep.
Everything. It's hard for them to say they're losing money if they open everything up. And you got Cuomo sitting there, but let's stay on the NFL. JP, give me your who do you think is going to win this division? San Francisco, Seattle, LA, Arizona.
I'm going to go with LA. I think LA will rebound. I think they end up having a shot at getting the number 1 in the West, the number 1 in the NFC, and I think they're going to win the West easy. I think they're going to be the only team with over 10 wins.
Oh, man. All right.
So you think the division?
I think the division's beating up each other.
Okay.
Everyone's going to beat up on each other.
Yeah, but that's not how you get teams with. If you have a good division that beats up each other, and they're all good, you don't get 10 wins. You get everybody with at least 9 wins, which is what you had last year.
I think
when you have a division that beats up on each other and everybody sucks, you get the NFC East last year.
Right.
Where the winner is 9 wins and everyone else, Dallas is 8 wins. I disagree completely. I don't disagree that the Rams could win the division. I don't think they're going to. I think it's San Francisco again. I do. I think that they're, the defense is just too tough, and that doesn't go away. Defenses don't go away. And the running game. When you're predicated on a running game and defense, and all we got to do is look at Baltimore, who's good every year. Every year they're good. Pittsburgh was good every year because they had the running game and the defense. Even last year, when Pittsburgh had a million injuries, they still were 8-8. So I think that San Francisco is going to be up there. I think there's a lot of change that happened with the Rams. I said Seattle's going to be down. I got San Fran winning the division. I actually have Arizona jumping up and winning about 10 games and being in second place. But I think San Fran is going to be. Wait. I got to rewind for a second. JP, you said the Rams are going to win the division with 10 wins, but you said they were going to challenge for the number one
They're
seed.
going to be the only team up. No, they're going to be the only team in that division over.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I got San Fran winning the division. I got Seattle finishing last, Arizona, and the Rams.
I still think Seattle, because of defense, and then they got some offense, and the DK Metcalf is going to be good, and they got the running game healthy. I still think Seattle is going to be a threat to Arizona. I just think the Rams still don't have all the key pieces. I mean, they got Goff, but no running game yet. We got that rookie over there, and they got rid of a couple of wide receivers. All they got is Cup. I mean,
No running game where?
they got the running backs are gone. They got a rookie over there.
Yeah, they got
Who
Akers.
knows? Yeah,
Cam
who knows
Akers.
what he's going to do, and they got offensive line. They lost 2, and they got rid of the one wide receiver over there, Cook, or right, not Cook. Cook.
No, Brandon Cooks they got rid of, but they got Cup and they got Woods. They got Higbee. They got the quarterback. It's still intact. The offense is still intact. You're right. They did get rid of Gurley, but Gurley is,
I think that's what affected him last year.
overrated. Overrated, the guy is.
No, he's not. I don't think he's overrated. I think that he was a great running back. His arthritis and knee problems cost him his career. I don't think he's gonna be good in Atlanta either. But if you notice, when Gurley was hot and was going strong, they were winning. Last year, Gurley was hurt; they couldn't do it.
I think it was the other way around. I think that when they were winning, he got hot. But okay, let's move on to really the worst division of football. Hope Tommy's still watching. Worst division of football, the NFC East. Now, it is not going to be as bad as it was last year. It was the worst division last year. It's not going to be. It can't be as bad as it was last year. It was so weird. Like, in the beginning of the season, Dallas looked great. And that's another team. Goes into the Meadowlands, it's the asses kicked.
Yeah.
Not really.
Amazing.
The Jets still won the game. You got Philly, you got Dallas, Giants, and the Washington Redskins.
The what?
Yeah, I'm still saying it. Until they give me a name, I'm still saying it. The Washington Football Club. Come on. JP, I'm going to let
Sounds
you go
like a
first.
terrible marketing slogan.
Horrible. It is a terrible marketing slogan. Go ahead, JP.
I'm thinking here.
All right.
I gotta go with Dallas. Like, I think Dak's gonna have a prove-it year, where I think they have a good enough team where they can just coast through Washington. I think they're gonna split with the Giants, and I think they're gonna sweep Philly. I think this year they sweep Philly and get some revenge, and I think they're gonna end up winning the division. I think they're going to have a good old Dallas performance in the first round of the playoffs and lose at home. So, yeah,
Okay.
Sorry, Dallas. You win the division, but you don't do anything else.
Carl?
Well, first, with the weapons that Dallas is going to have, they better put up numbers and they better win. I mean, this is it for them. This is contract year just to prove something for the quarterback, and they got everybody around him. Offensive line, wide receivers, tight ends, running backs, they got it all. So they better do it. But I picked Philly to win a division. I think as much as I hate Wentz, and I always did, I think Wentz's year this year is going to be very good with the running back, new offensive line, and I'm big on that rookie over there for his wide receiver. And I really think it's Wentz's year over there, and they're going to win the division. But Dallas will make the playoffs too. There'll be 2 teams going in.
So here's the thing about Dallas. They had one of the best offenses in football last year. They had one of the better defenses in football last year. The one thing they changed that they needed to change, that's going to be the difference this year, is the head coach.
Think so?
I know they changed it.
But
I know
the difference.
I know he was terrible. I know he was awful. He was terrible. He was, I don't know how he lasted that long. He was a yes man. Jerry Jones loves that. But I think McCarthy's going to come in, and you see this all the time. All the time. The coach comes in, and he doesn't even have to be a genius. He just changes the culture, and all of a sudden teams win. You saw it in Chicago. You saw it in, you saw it in Arizona to a point. The Jets, every year the Jets used to hire a head coach, he would win 11 games. Gase is the worst coach they've ever had, so he didn't do it. But you see it all the time, that you change the coach, and all of a sudden the team plays. They have the talent. They have the talent. I mean, who are you blaming? You got to blame the coach.
Well,
you got to blame the scheme. They could run the ball. They could pass the ball. They have the defense. Cooper is decent. Then they brought in Judy, right?
Yeah. No.
No, not Judy. You got Judy. They brought in
Judy.
Who was the wide receiver they got?
I forget the other big time.
I know who you're talking about.
Big time rookie. It's Judy Ruggs.
We got CD. We got Ruggs.
Lamb.
They got CD Lamb.
That's right. CD Lamb. Good job. CD Lamb.
Dallas got him.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
They have weapons. Yeah. They have the new head coach. This is not a tough division. Giants, I think, the offense is going to be good, but the defense is going to be absolutely atrocious. The Redskins don't even have an offense. And as far as Philly, they lost all of their wide receivers now. They have no wide receivers. They got 2 tight ends, and they got a running back that's hurt now too, and the quarterback can't stay healthy. If Dallas doesn't win this year, they have to win this year. There's no – Jerry Jones has to, fire himself if they don't win this year.
That rookie wide receiver over there, Jalen Ruggins, Philadelphia drafted. He's predicted in the top rookie wide receiver.
Reagan, right? Reagan.
They said with him, he's faster than Deshaun Jackson. He's fast wide receiver, and now Jackson's healthy. They said in Philly with those two together.
Jackson's not healthy though.
They said he's healthy. He's going to play week 1. He said he's good enough. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's
now
not going to.
Here's my question that you said the coach's change is going to change Dallas.
Yeah.
But correct me if I'm wrong here.
Yeah.
Wasn't Elliott out the first 5 games last year?
4 games, I think, right? Yeah, 4 or 5.
I don't know how they started. What they start? 1 and 3?
No. Opposite. They started great. They ended terrible.
Because I know Elliott was bad, and usually when they sit out of everything, they usually don't play too well when they come back and all that stuff. So Elliott wasn't great, but he'd still put up numbers. But maybe that was the difference. They need a running game. Everybody needs a running game.
Hold on. I'm going to bring it up. I think they started out really good, and then they fell apart at the end of the season.
They always fall apart at the end.
Yeah, but what you said,
I thought they were 1 and 3 or 2 and 2 before he came back.
So. I don't think so. Hold on.
But the Giants I think are going to be pretty good. They're not going to be playoff bound, but I can see 8-8 season, and I think Danny's going to have a hell of a season.
I think the quarterback's great. I think
Danny's going to have a hell of a season.
Don't say yup. You thought he sucked.
I do.
I said he sucks.
I did. I thought he really sucked, but I looked at everything, looked at his stats, looked at a couple other things. I think he's going to be okay.
All right, they started out 3-0 last year, Dallas.
Without Elliott, and Elliott lost.
Without Elliott, they started out 3-0. Jets beat them in week 6, 24-22. They almost blew it, but
I wasn't sure, but yeah, I thought it was something to do with Elliott. But Elliott is Elliott. If he could play a master game and he's been practicing, and he's going to be around the whole season if he don't get hurt, I think Dallas got a good shot.
So who are you picking? You pick the Eagles?
I'm picking the Eagles.
Okay.
Eagles, Dallas.
And you know what Dallas is doing, right?
What's that?
They're booking a trip for Cancun. Dallas is booking its trip for Cancun after the first round of the playoffs.
Stop it. That's an old joke.
They're booking for after the first round.
We didn't talk about yet, though. And Dallas is the one leading this charge. Some of these teams are now going to have fans in the stands. Dallas is one of them. They said 20,000 fans they're putting in the stands. Now, Miami made a crazy, they made a rule yesterday that I don't know how they're going to do. Miami said they're going to put 13,000 fans in their stands. Where are they finding 13,000 fans? So because of COVID, their attendance is going to go up.
Yeah. People are dying to go do anything. You know that? Yeah. So that's what I said.
I had to
Sold
laugh at
out.
that one.
Sold out.
What-
COVID. People will buy anything for anybody. So this is the best year for anything in Florida because people are going to go watch football, baseball, whatever they could do with fans. Anything. Things are
Right.
getting sold out. And yeah, you're right. That's pretty funny. But yeah, that's why I said it's sold out. Yeah.
Right. Speaking of
There could
COVID,
be a lot of Jet fans at the Dolphins games.
they're always
A
on.
lot of Jet fans at those games.
They're always on. And there's more Dolphin fans at Jet games too. When you come up here, absolutely, because you have so many people down there. New Yorkers down there. Every team down there has the New York fans. But let me ask you this: we're talking about the COVID-19. Let me preface it. Before every single sport started, Carl was getting so pissed off at me, so aggravated with me, because every single day, I would get a text like this. I would get a text, 35 Major League Baseball players tested positive. Like, yeah, all right, that's not that many. Then the NBA, 7 guys on the Magic tested positive. Like, he would just try to get me to say what he thought was going to happen, which is cancel every sport. And I told him then, and I'm telling him now, because I'm getting texts every single day. This many NFL players tested. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anymore. Until you tell me 4 guys from one team are in the hospital, it does not matter who tested positive. I don't even get those alerts. I don't even see it anywhere. I don't know where you find it. But it doesn't matter who tests positive. Every sport is going to play. Every professional sport is going to play.
Yeah, they'll probably end up playing, but the testing positive has something to do with other reasons, and it's nothing to do with cancel. I would think they would cancel if it's something to do with politics, but it's all about the numbers. And the more states and more teams and more people like these college students and NFL players get positive tests, knowing they're wrong, like New Jersey just had with the NFL.
Well, let's talk about that. Don't skip over that.
But I'm saying, this is all the politic way of things. Oh my, they're all saying, "Oh, look at this. We need to shut down. We need to do this because look at all these kids. Look at all these players." That's all about. I'm not saying it's going to cancel because they're all positive. They're all positive. When they take that shot, when they take the sample, they may come back positive and say, "Well, I wasn't even sick." It's just the point that they're trying to make, that if we don't stay home and no one stops everything in this country, it's going to keep on spreading. Look at
you thought every sport was going to be canceled. You still think football is?
Yeah.
JP, did you see what happened in the NFL this week? 77 positive tests came back. The players complained, said, they haven't been anywhere. And you had so many players complain that they actually double-checked the tests. And out of 77 positive tests, 77 were false negatives. False positives, I mean.
False positive.
Every test they had
Ta-da!
was false.
And take a guess where those
Ta-da!
Take a guess where those tests came out of. The results came out of.
Well, that was
New
the last
Jersey.
New Jersey, right?
Yep.
Like, do you realize New Jersey is the most scientists and doctors and engineers per capita, and they still couldn't not contaminate these tests
That's
Well, it's the
enough
most-
said with
in
that.
the whole United States?
Yeah, it's the most people, too, per capita. Nobody realized that. Plus, here's the thing about Jersey. And I know you're from Jersey. Anyone who lives – Jersey is not really a state. Like, it's just a state in name. Everyone who lives – they don't have a city. It's Atlantic City, you could say. But everyone in Jersey is a suburb of either Philly or New York City. Like, it's kind of one of those in-between states, but it's got the most people per area, per capita. Most densely populated state.
Yeah, overpriced, populated state. Yep.
That's right. All right. So I got Dallas, then I got Philly. The Giants, yeah, we got to talk about the Giants because they got Saquon coming back. They don't really have, the standout receiving core, but they're okay. The tight end gets hurt all the time. They did rebuild the offensive line in the last couple of years. They picked the one kid this year. I forget his name. But they picked up the offensive line and the left tackle. We'll see if that helps. Jones has to hold on to the ball. I mean, that's his whole problem.
That's
Hold on to the ball. He is great, though. He is absolutely great and saved. Gettleman's going to be gone anyway, but saved the decision that they made the year before, drafting the running back instead of taking one of the quarterbacks. They took Barkley. The next year, they went out on a limb, took Jones when nobody thought. How good does that pick look right now with Haskins in Washington and Jones in New York? Looks like a genius, right?
Genius.
But they have no defense.
But also Daniel Jones. You got to remember, Daniel Jones was a Manning basically.
Oh yeah,
the same coach of the Mannings
Not a Manning.
developed him. He's a Manning by adoption. Like they adopted him basically.
just like Andrew Luck.
That's not why he's good.
Yeah.
That's not why he's good.
No, it's not
Like
good.
he-
But he went through
like he had the
training
same
camps and everything as the Manning and Andrew Luck. They coached by the same guys and went to the Manning camps and everything. It's the same kind of ladder.
What's that got to do with anything?
He learned from the best. I mean,
But-
just like Andrew Luck. They learned. I mean, went
He
through the
learned-
same
He
coach,
reminds me a lot.
same coaches and everything.
So the guy
It's
from
funny.
Duke, the quarterback in Duke right now is going to be the number one pick next year, right?
The guy
No, I'm talking Jones
Jones.
because here's
Jones is at Duke,
the difference.
so had the same
Jones-
coaching that they had.
Unless
That's
No, but
ridiculous.
he actually
That's
since high
ridiculous.
school. He went to the
Right.
Manning camps in
Yeah,
high
he
school.
was all Manning.
Brought as a counselor. He was brought back as a counselor, which is a big deal. To be brought back as a
Oh.
counselor at the camp.
So,
It's a big deal. Like if you get brought back by the Mannings, that's a pretty big deal. Not many guys get that every year.
okay,
Usually all of them get drafted.
guys, the guy is a good quarterback. It's got nothing to do with going to the Manning camp.
No, it doesn't. At Manning camp, doesn't matter. It's just that he is a good thing. He went through the Manning camp just like Andrew Luck. He went through the coaches just like Andrew Luck. He did everything. Peyton Manning told the Colts to draft Andrew Luck, and look what happened. He was great. Yes, he got hurt. He retired early. Whatever happened, happened. Eli Manning and the Manning family told him to draft this kid, and they did. It's not a miracle. I mean, there's other quarterbacks that went through there that sucked. Yeah, it's just that the point is that he went through the Manning camps and he coached by Manning people.
You absolutely love Peyton Manning.
One of the best.
I love him too.
Absolutely
You
love.
kidding me?
One of the best that ever played the game.
I mean,
Absolutely.
I love him because he's funny as heck, and he's actually he is brilliant.
Don't worry,
I wish they got him to be
JT.
I wish they got him to do Monday Night Football.
Don't worry. When Gase is gone and Jets and something to do with Peyton Manning comes aboard to coach as a quarterback coach or something, he's gonna have Manning jersey all over the place. He'll love it too.
Carl has Peyton Manning in every single NFL job that pops up. If it's a GM, head coach,
No.
Monday Night Football, Carl has him doing everything, and he's never done any of it. Never done any
Except
of it.
win.
I'd love to see.
Except
I'd
number
love to
one.
see him call Monday Night Football.
As a coach.
I said except win. He has more rings than the Jets.
Hold on. As a player, not as a coach.
So
And he did it in less time too.
So that means he's going to be a great coach. Listen, being a great player doesn't make you a great anything else. And all we got to do is look at Elway. But
I was gonna
that's
say,
it.
look at Elway.
That's it. That's
Yep,
it.
you're right. You look at Elway.
Best,
You're right.
one of the best quarterbacks ever. Can't pick a quarterback except for Manning, except for Peyton. All right, let's move on to the NFC North.
Tough division.
NFC North. Tough division because
Ugh.
I don't think there's a clear great team. I don't need. This is a division where I can see any one of these teams being the worst and any one of these teams being the best. I'm kind of sick of calling for Detroit to turn it around because we do it every year. Every
all
year
hope that.
they're going to turn around, and they start off good and they fall apart. I don't know where to go here. You got Green Bay, probably the best bet to repeat because Minnesota has, quarterback's terrible. They do have Cook, the running game, the defense is decent, so I got to put them up there. But they lost Diggs. They drafted this kid Jefferson, which I think is going to be great. Thielen got hurt this last year. I'll probably put them as number one, actually. I'll probably put Minnesota as number one. I think the Foles is going to start in Chicago. It's going to be a disaster. Detroit, like I said, I'm not going to pick them again. And the Packers are in a power struggle with the quarterback and the head coach. They want to run the ball a lot. They drafted another running back. Who was it? That noise? Someone just made noise, and both of you looked up, and you're in two different states. How did that work out? Both of you went like this once there was a noise, and you're in two different states.
Because we're both outside, going into the dark.
In two different states.
I got bears, and what do you got over there?
Me?
No, I'm talking JP. I got bears and shit walking around here.
I got photo shoots. People thinking they're models.
So,
Smile for camera.
all right. So I got Minnesota over Green Bay right now for 1-2. Carl, go ahead.
I got something.
I got Chicago Bears
Uh,
winning the division
With Nick Foles as the quarterback.
with Nick Foles as the quarterback. I got him winning the division. The defense is going to be good. It may
I'll
not
give
be
you
there.
that. They are coming back.
The defense is going to be good. And if that running game could go on and they could get that running game 1-2 punch going on, Foles will be fine just as a normal quarterback. He don't have to be great. He could be a normal quarterback. And I think with the defense and the running game, I think it's going to be good enough to win that division because I don't think any of the teams in there is going to be that good.
All right, JP, what do you think? I feel like I'm in an interrogation right now. You got the light behind you. You're staring right down at me.
Yo, doesn't he look like the one-man gang?
The Hurricane. Hurricane. Yes. We could go on and on. Go ahead, JP.
Woo!
You look beautiful today. You should actually go outside with that Slurpee you got and go in the photo shoot. But thanks for staying with us. Tell me who you got in this division.
You're gonna laugh,
Detroit.
but I think finally Detroit will win it. Finally, it feels like one of those political slogans. We're gonna do it this year. We're gonna finally make change in Detroit with the Lions. They're gonna finally make change in Detroit with the Lions. I think Patricia's gonna coach for his job. I think he's gonna show that he might be the best of the Belichick disciples when it comes to possibly winning. And I think Detroit's gonna turn around. It's gonna stun people because I think that defense is ready to play. And I think that defense is going to be what carries them.
I will say they were really good last year until Stafford got hurt.
Yeah.
That was the turning point. But you also, it's no secret that team hates him, hates Patricia. When he got caught last year, at the beginning of the season, they drudged up this old sexual harassment or, sexual assault suit. The players were rooting against it. They were ready to testify against him just so he would get fired. The players on that team hate Matt Patricia. That's never, ever a recipe for winning. I think the same thing's going to happen with the Jets because they hate, most of the players hate Gase. But Patricia, and saying that he's going to be the best Belichick disciple, there haven't really been any good ones. Are you going to call Dan O'Brien a Belichick disciple, and did he do anything? I think the best one, the one
He still got a job.
I think the one who has the best chance to be a good head coach, and I think he's going to be, is Flores down in Florida, down in Miami. I think that he is going to turn out to be the best Belichick disciple, but Belichick does not have a history of spawning off a coaching tree. I think both of you are wrong. You're both going with long shots. I think both of you are wrong. I think Minnesota's going to run the ball. Dalvin Cook said that he was going to hold out. He's not going to hold out. You can't hold out anymore. I don't know if anyone realized that. You're not allowed to hold out in the NFL anymore because you don't get your service time, so you lose the year. You hold out, you lose the year. You also cannot get paid for your fines. But it used to be you get fined, $40,000 for sitting out. Well, when you renegotiate the contract, the team pays the fine. Not allowed to do that anymore. Player has to pay it. It has to come out of his salary. Could they build up the salary? Yes. But I think holdouts are a thing of the past. I got Minnesota winning.
The only thing with the Chicago is that, a couple of years ago you picked Chicago, and you're absolutely right with Chicago. But I think because of the offensive line, and you got now the running backs and 1-2 punch, and I think they're going to be pretty good. And he does have a good team around him, and that defense I think is even better. I think that defense is going to carry them in that division.
Chicago's got one of the worst offensive lines in the league, though.
They got 2 more free agents. I mean, they helped themselves.
Yeah, they were last
Montgomery's
year.
good. Montgomery is going to be good. He's going to be a good back.
I don't think that, but he also got hurt today.
Yeah, he got hurt too. The couple players got hurt today.
This happens every year, though.
Yeah.
Every year, right before the fantasy.
Just tells you that preseason games are not the only thing that hurts the guys.
Preseason games mean nothing. Mean nothing.
Everybody gets hurt and nothing works.
They don't even play in the preseason. JP, you are looking handsome right now. I would not have.
Oh, God,
I could not pull off that angle. Let me tell you, I could not pull it. But you are doing it. All right, last one, and then we'll move on. Next week we'll do the AFC. Last one, this division was really down last year, but it is for the past, I'd say, 6 or 7 years, been the best division in football. Now that's kind of switched over to the Seahawks, 49ers, and Rams, the West. But this division, the NFC South, continuously was putting the best teams in the NFC. The Falcons went to the Super Bowl. Panthers went to the Super Bowl. Saints just always seem to screw up in the playoffs, but they're good every year. Last year, you only had one team above 500, and that was the Saints.
Yeah.
Now you have a big thing going on this year with Tom Brady and Gronkowski going down to Tampa. Will that be the difference? That's what most people are going to pick. Carolina, you got a new.
You sure it's a big deal?
Well, you tell me. That's
sure it's a big deal. A lot of people like retiring in Tampa.
Correct. And as you told me, Tampa has not been hit by a hurricane in 100 years. But that was a fun fact. Listen, you tell me. Let's start there. Is Tom Brady going to be the difference for Tampa? As bad as we think they were last year, they were 7-9. They put up a lot of points. They might have been. They were tied for top in the. No, they were tied for second as far as most points in the NFC. Who do you think was the top team as far as points in the NFC last year? Off the top of your head, without looking.
Giants.
New Orleans.
No, New Orleans was tied with Tampa for the most points, second most points in the NFC. Giants were way down.
Yeah.
San Francisco 49ers put up the most points last year.
Wow.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, back to this.
Wow.
Let's start with you, JP, since we can see you. What do you think of Tampa Bay?
Bray Wyatt.
Is Tampa Bay going to turn it around with Brady? His swan song, is he going to do like Peyton Manning did, pick up a team that was almost there and bring him to the promised land after he loses one Super Bowl?
No. I'm going to tell you who's going to be the shock in the division this year. Carolina is going to stun the division. I think they're going to make the playoffs, unlike Tampa.
All right. JP, when you pick...
I think New Orleans win the division.
Here's the thing. When you pick, like, the biggest underdog every time, it's no longer a shocker. Like, when you pick Detroit and you pick Carolina and you pick, Arizona. When you pick every one...
I didn't pick Arizona. Pick Arizona.
You picked the Rams, right?
Yeah, I picked the Rams. They're no long shot. They won the NFC 2 years ago.
All right. Fair enough.
I mean, the reason why I'm saying Carolina, and I don't think they win the division, I think they end up making the playoffs, is when New Orleans winning, is I got a feeling that Matt Rule's actually going to shock people, and he might do what Chip Kelly did his first year in Philly and pull off a Chip Kelly type season where they just make the playoffs and stun everybody. Like, nobody thought Philly would make the playoffs with Chip Kelly the first year.
Well, listen, that's what I said before when I was talking about Dallas. That's absolutely possible, absolutely the case. Carolina started off good last year, and then just fell apart completely without Cam Newton the whole year. So you got to take that into account. They have a lot of talent. They still have the best running back in football there. I think they went all defense with the draft, right?
Yeah.
They went all defense with the draft. So it's not crazy. I just think that in that division right now, when you have the Falcons should be back to where they were offensively. They got rid of Freeman, brought in Gurley. I don't know how much that's going to help. You got Tom Brady, of course, on an offense that was already great last year. Is that going to help? And you got the Saints. I just think it's going to be tough for them. And, what is Bridgewater? Bridgewater, he was on the Saints last year and got by and won games, but that was more of the collection around him, that all he had to do was be good enough. He's kind of going to have to – him and McCaffrey going to have to carry the offense. I don't know, but hey, I'm not going to kill you for the pick. Carl, what do you think?
I don't think Brady succeeds. It's hard to say, but I don't think they have it. They don't have it all together. I mean, you're bringing in a quarterback. He does, he has Evans and everything like that. The defense is not great. So, it's going to be very hard for Brady to carry, at his age and all the offense that he has to play. They do win a lot of games. They do win 10. But I think it's Atlanta's year. I think Atlanta's going to be back. I think Atlanta's going to put up a lot of numbers. Matt Ryan's still on top of his game. You got, they had a little slump, but they're also a team that always put up numbers. It's just their defense was slacking last year. Their defense really wasn't good. But I think it's Atlanta's year, and Brady will be in the playoffs, but as a wild card.
Yeah, I think Atlanta's gonna. I think it's gonna actually. It's probably gonna be the same way it was last year. New Orleans, Atlanta, then Tampa Bay. But I think all of those teams are going to win at least 10 games. I don't think it's going to really matter. Here's one thing you got to remember, especially with a team like New Orleans. Didn't bring it up with Seattle because Seattle last year, they were 4-4 at home. They were 7-1 on the road. That's completely different than what they usually do. But we have to remember that there's not going to be a packed stadium anywhere this year.
Right.
And, being in the dome isn't going to be as much of an advantage as it was. But New Orleans isn't going to be at a big disadvantage on the road either, which they usually are. Now, last year they won 13 games. They were good home and away. I think this is Breeze. Breeze has 1 or 2 more years. I don't know if that even matters. They're going to play hard anyway. I see them going all in on the offense. One guy they picked up on offense that nobody is talking about, and I think is going to make a huge difference for them, is Emmanuel Sanders. Emmanuel Sanders is going to be huge for them. It's going to be like when they had Cooks. He is a go-to guy. When Thomas is double covered or they're worrying about Thomas the whole time, you could go to him. They have Kamara, who was not bad last year. Murray, who was not bad. I think the offense is going to carry them again. They had a really good defense last year, too. It was definitely underrated defense. I think New Orleans wins. I do think that Tampa's going to win some games. Going to get around the 10-11 mark. Atlanta's going to be around 10-11. I think Carolina's in the cellar. Just at least for one more year. I don't think – first of all, I got to see this head coach be able to coach in the NFL. Because while we say Chip Kelly this and, Kingsbury, there are a lot of head coaches that have come from NCAA into the NFL and not succeeded.
That's the only thing. I agree with you with that. But also, he's going to be playing a college kind of offense. So that's a really little confusion as we've seen between Arizona and Baltimore, how the college offense and all that stuff plays. That's a big factor against NFL teams.
But the examples that we've given had the personnel. Now, he does have the running back. He does have the running back who could do anything. McCaffrey could do anything. He could go. Right. He could line up in the slot. He could line up outside. He could run. He could do anything. So if he he builds the offense around him, maybe. But I don't know. I think the division is just too tough. Now, like we said before, you got an extra team, an extra wild card team that makes the playoffs this year. So any one of these teams. Who comes out of the NFC? JP, I'll give you first. JP, you with us?
Bray Wyatt.
Is he alive?
I don't know.
Call 911. Okay. All right. All right. I'm a little worried about JP right now.
Who comes out of the NFC?
Everybody criticizing JP on the show. JP is the life of this show. The life of this show.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Way
we're
Wyatt.
doing.
I was looking at the comments, chats. You could private chat with people and everything. There are, different things. But you got people laughing, so some people are watching. NFC. So we're talking about who comes out of the NFC for the Super Bowl. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. Who comes out of the NFC for the Super Bowl?
I'm gonna have.
First of all, were you not worried for a second with JP when he just froze like that?
No.
I didn't know if he had a head rush from that Slurpee or we lost him for a second. But
No, I wasn't worried about Bray Wyatt. No.
I'm sure what happened right now is he jumped out of the car and joined one of those photo shoots.
Yeah.
He's looking
That's
mighty
most
fine tonight. But go ahead.
But it's tough. Like you said in the beginning of the show, beginning of this conversation here, you don't know what's going to happen, man. You got shitty teams that made it real far, Super Bowl like San Fran, Tennessee. It's going to be really hard to see who does it. But I'm going to go roll the dice, and I'm going to stick with the team I really think is going to do good and surprise people go to the Super Bowl. I'm going to go with the Atlanta Falcons. I really think Atlanta Falcons year this year, they're back. The offense, Gurley, you said it. Who knows how he's doing it, but you know what? They got the line. They're good. It's Matt Ryan, Julio Jones. It's do or die with these contracts. I really think Atlanta Falcons goes on top and goes and presents the NFC.
All right.
You're going with San Fran.
No. Only because it's so hard to repeat. For whatever reason, it's so hard to repeat. I think they're going to be in the championship game, yes. I think they're going to be one of the best teams in the NFC. But I'm picking Dallas. I think Dallas is going to go to the Super Bowl this year. I think that they have everything that they need talent-wise. They have a coach that has shown in the past that if he has the talent, he can get to and win the Super Bowl. I'm not picking them to win. I didn't get that far yet, but I think Dallas can get to the Super Bowl this year. That's my pick. JP, you okay now? You good? That's so pretty.
That's
so pretty.
Did you ever watch wrestling?
Oh, my God.
Bray
Oh,
Wyatt?
I wish I could freeze this right now. It's already frozen, but I wish I could freeze it forever. JP, you with us? All right, we lost JP. We lost JP. I don't know what's going on there. All right, that's our NFL for this week. Carl, let's start talking fantasy.
Yeah, it's right around the corner.
Got a half hour, a little more for the show. Oh, my God, I have him frozen twice on my screen. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm back. Well, here's what happened. My phone went, and I just got a clarification on what I said earlier. They didn't cancel. The meeting actually was wrong. They decided to vote to continue and stuff for now with low contact.
Yeah.
I just got a clarification.
At least I text false news. I don't report it.
No, here's what happened. I got a clarification.
Completely false news.
No, but
like
I've heard
the exact opposite.
He said they're going to vote to cancel. I actually got it clarified. They're going to vote to cancel. They agreed that they're going to have another vote to decide whether to cancel when they get better clarification from the governor.
Okay, new breaking news. Suffolk has not decided to cancel. They decided not to cancel. And
But
they're
they
going to...
decided instead they're going to...
Is that why you froze? It was a shock?
No, because I actually just got a clarification, and my phone overheated for a second.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
like
It's probably that light.
no, it's not. The light ain't helping. The phone's heating itself.
All right.
Yeah,
Have
my
you
bad
seen-
on that.
No problem.
All
All right. Before we go on, we're going to start talking about the best fantasy. We're going to rank fantasy players for football, being that most people have their drafts coming up this week. Oh, my God.
He's still eating the same ice cream?
Yeah, I'm still eating the same thing. Oh,
So, all right. So, JP, join us here. Join us on the show. Give me your who's going to the Super Bowl in the NFC. Oh, this is so great. This is so great.
cringing. I mean, I gotta go with. New Orleans.
Yeah, that was that. I got San Fran and New Orleans. I think are definitely going to be two of the best teams in the NFC. But I just think that. Wait, who did you pick to win the division?
I picked New Orleans to win the division, Carolina to make the playoffs over Tampa.
I thought you picked Carolina to win.
I thought you said
No, I
Carolina
picked
was
New
going all
Orleans
the way.
to win the division, Carolina to the shock and make the playoffs.
Okay,
Over
fair
Tampa.
enough. Fair enough. All right, and I got Dallas winning the NFC, going to the Super Bowl. I'm dizzy right now. Oh, I actually had someone text me a picture. I'm going to text it to both of you. It's so great. It's
Don't
so
do it now.
great.
Don't do it now. You'll lose me.
Don't tempt me. Listen, it's so great. It's you, Frozen, and Carl Black. It's so great. The production value of this show is just obviously we have a major budget for this show that we just put every dollar into the show. All right, Carl, let's start talking fantasy. We do this every year. We got everyone having their fantasy drafts this week, including us. Fantasy football is going to kick off. No, you do Stratomatic, right? So
Yeah, I already got my Stratomatic season going, so I'm good to go.
but you can be a part of this. Carl, every year we go running back. It is funny because for years I was the only one that did this, where I just two running backs right away. Because if you do the math, there's just not that many running backs out there. No, but not everybody could have three starting. Nowadays, there aren't even 15 running backs that get most of the carries on their team. Most of the teams are running back by committee, so you just got to guess. But this year, it seems like more than ever, the first round is almost all running backs. You agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. And it goes into the second round. I mean,
A lot of times it does. Michael Thomas sneaks up there. He goes up high. Julio Jones sometimes sneaks up, but for the most part, it's all running backs.
It's all running backs. Absolutely. And like I know you do. We text about it. We've been in with a lot of mock drafts, and I mean, you get a couple people that are nuts that just jump in there and pick crazy, and once in a while, but most of the time, it's 12-man thing. It's usually the first 11 are running backs, and then the 12th man usually picks a running back and a wide receiver because he's going back forward, and then running backs again. You're absolutely right. After you do this draft, the first two rounds, there's not many running backs left.
So, who would you give me as the top? See, I have probably top 5 or 6 running backs. They're like in the first tier of running backs. Give me your top pick this year.
My top pick?
Who would your top pick be this year?
If I get number 1 pick, I would pick Barkley.
Barkley over C-Mac.
Yes. Barkley over C-Mac. A healthy year. Hopefully he stays healthy. I think Barkley is much, much better in where he's at. Where he's at right now with that offense, I think Barkley gets my top pick and he gets more yards than C-Mac.
Yeah, I don't think that's crazy. I think they're both in. Actually, I think the Giants are probably a better offense than Carolina. C-Mac can do so many different things, and Barkley gets hurt a lot. For that reason, I picked McCaffrey, but I could go either way with that. After that, I got McCaffrey, then Barkley. Now, the next one's Zeke, obviously, Elliott. After that, it gets dicey. Because it's been going back and forth. Started out Kamara, then it was Cook. Now it looks like Henry's jumping up there. Who do you have after the top 3? Give me your next 2.
Number 4, I'm actually in a draft this Saturday at 1:00.
Right.
In the afternoon, and I got number 4th pick. And my 4th pick is Kamara. I would go with Kamara just because of the offense they ran and what he has been doing the last couple of years. I would think Kamara should go at number 4. And then number 5 will be Cook. And number 6 will be Henry in my book.
All right. See, I think you could put Cook or Henry above Elliott even, because they kind of all three of them are the same player as far as, they don't have too many receptions. Henry has the least amount, but all three are the focus of the team. If anything, Elliott's got more of a passing game around him than the other two. But Kamara last year got hurt, so I'll give him that.
Right.
JP, you okay there, JP?
Yeah, I'm thinking here. I'm like,
Deep
I'm thinking.
Deep thought. Yeah, I'm going to give you a chance in a second. Kamara
Yeah,
got
I'm
hurt.
doing the
Last
thinking
year.
part.
He definitely had a down year, but Kamara's got Murray behind him. And the Saints love to do, some sort of platoon situation where they did it with Ingram, then they brought Murray, and they did it with Murray. For that reason, I don't put him up there. I don't like platoon situations. I don't. No matter how good the player is, I don't like when someone else is going to be able to take the touchdowns away, take some of the carries away.
I agree.
But he's good. But he's great.
He
puts up yards.
I think Kamara is good all the way if he stays healthy, and he's also fighting for a contract now. This is contract year for him.
Yeah, but Sean Payton doesn't care about his contract, and if he's going to, that's fine. But if he doesn't get enough playing time, especially around the goal line, that's where I worry.
Yeah, true.
But I got Henry, then Cook, then Kamara. JP, give me a top 5 or 6.
I'm gonna go out on a limb.
Here we
Of course, run CFC, baby.
Here we go. Here we go.
No, he's going with
Of course I'm going
before you say JP,
He's-
before you say he's going to go with the rest of the world. He's not going to go with me and you. He's going to go with everybody else.
No, he never does that. He never does that.
Watch.
Just give me a real list.
Yeah,
don't go out on limbs.
I'm going out
McCaffrey.
on
No.
a limb.
Oh, okay. That was sarcastic. I didn't recognize it.
That's called. You don't know me well enough. McCaffrey, Barkley.
Here's what I love. Right now about our production value. You got JP. When he goes left, you see the bright spotlight that's in the car. When he goes right, you see the bright spotlight in the parking lot. I love it. Go ahead. Give me a
What's
top.
number 3?
Who,
3, 4, 5.
Barkley was 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's number 3?
Zeke. Everybody's with Zeke. That's right. My buddy says he wins in fantasy every year. He wins in fantasy with Zeke for some reason. He just wins his league. I don't know how. He always wins. That's why I'm not in it anymore. Got tired of him winning. So with that being said,
Bring him this way.
Cook.
Okay.
Wait, this way.
No, he meant bring the guy into our league.
This is when I go up because it's really like flip a coin.
This is the 1 week I decided not to drink. I should have brought a bottle of scotch.
I mean, this is where you kind of go with it's really flip a coin. I think with some of these guys, like you don't know if Gurley's going to be there. I think Cook is going to be in the conversation. I think Freeman could definitely bounce back.
Freeman's not on the team. Freeman's not on the team.
Stay away from fantasy, JP. You're
I
right.
thought, honestly, I thought that's where you were going. I thought you were going to say Freeman.
Because I think he's going to get signed. I think somebody will sign him either the first or second week of the season.
I don't doubt that, but will
I
he
wonder why you lose. I wonder why you lose.
Hold on.
No,
it's not.
I don't.
Let me defend you for a second. I'm going to defend you for a second. Because last year, if anyone would have said that by the end of the year, Kenyon Drake would have been one of the best running backs, you would have said they were crazy. Sometimes that could happen. He goes into a situation. I'll give you a perfect example. How about if David Johnson gets hurt in preseason right now and Freeman goes to Houston? You definitely have a great season. Definitely. But I wouldn't
pick him at number 5.
I wouldn't predict it. Yeah.
I mean, that's why I'm saying I think it's a revolving door at running back this year. I think it's going to end up being a revolving door of like maybe 5 to 8 guys who could definitely on a given week be in that top 6 category. To be in that credible near the top 6.
Listen, that's how fantasy is. Absolutely, the top 6 can be different every week. But who are you going to bank on? Who are you going to, Derrick Henry has to be in the conversation. Derrick Henry is a beast. And so is Cook. When Cook's healthy, Cook's probably top 2 in the league when he's healthy.
I think Henry's going to take a little bit of a I think Henry's going to take a little bit of a drop off this year. I think he drops off a little bit. I think he's still there, but I think he drops off a little bit. I think everyone's going to be keying up on him because he's all Tennessee's got. I mean, when you think about it.
Well, that's not true, and that's what I was just going to say. This is actually one of the first years that he's got a passing game with Tannehill, A.J. Brown. They actually have a passing game now where they can take the heat off him. He's not with Martin Mariota anymore, where you knew
But
you
here's the
could
thing,
put the ball in the box.
I don't trust. I want to see if Tannehill can actually give another year. That's the
Give
biggest
another year.
question.
He's been doing these years since in Miami. He's good.
That's the thing. Tannehill has always been good when he was healthy.
Yeah,
Always.
But again, I agree. It's the big if. Can he stay healthy? That's the big if. But I can see Henry taking a little bit of a drop.
All right, fair enough. Now, Carl, the next batch of backs is the one that everyone's really having trouble with. And I've been doing the mock drafts for weeks now, and the way it started is not the way it is now. That next batch, you have Joe Mixon, you have Drake, you have Sanders, you have Eckler, and you have this guy snuck up. I was taking him like crazy in the second round. Now he's all the way up there. Jacobs, your boy.
Yeah.
JP, Josh Jacobs. Tell me where you rank these guys, because you got a bunch of guys that are injury prone there, and Eckler and Drake and Sanders. Sanders is injury prone. He was only there for 1 year, but he's already banged up. Who do you put next in that category in the field?
At number six, I'm going with Mixon.
That's what I got.
You got to go Mixon. However, I see a lot of drafts. A lot of people are picking this kid from Kansas City, and
I missed him.
I don't know where they all coming from, and they keep saying because the team's good, and I understand that, but no rookie like that ever been drafted that high.
That's not true at all. I drafted Zeke Elliott his first year. I drafted him in the 5th pick overall. And here's what I'll say. As I said it last week, Andy Reid loves to use one back. He doesn't do committees. Loves to use one back. He did it when he had Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt was a 3rd-round pick. Put him in there, was fast, able to move, and led the league in rushing first year.
But Kareem Hunt also was
I picked him.
Basically.
What's that?
I mean, there's 2 exceptions to the rule. Kareem Hunt was a track star, basically. The guy was fast as heck, could basically run. He was like Superman.
Well, so is Hilaire. Hilaire is fast.
But here's the thing with Hilaire. I think he could be, but there's the thing with Hilaire, though. I just am not sold on.
Yeah.
I was sold on when he came out. With Hunt, I wasn't really. With Hilaire, I'm not really either.
Here's the thing. You don't have to be Hunt. You don't have to be fast. Look at Williams last year. He could have been the MVP of the Super Bowl last year. I think you put any competent running back in that situation, and he could easily be one of the best running backs. Easily.
Well, put it this way. Were you sold on any Andy Reid's running backs?
Going into this year?
No, going into any of the seasons, the first seasons.
Well,
their career. I mean, we can name McCoy. We can name a lot of them.
That's my point. He makes running backs.
Right. That's the reason why. He's getting drafted. That's the reason why he's getting drafted.
And this is one of the best offense. This is the best offense he's ever had as far as stretching the field.
Yeah.
That leaves everything open for the running back. I think Hilaire should be up there. He's getting drafted too high. I saw him draft where he went 2 in the whole draft. That's a little crazy, but I could definitely see him.
What are they
Well,
smoking?
they're thinking what I'm saying now. They're thinking, listen, every year the top running backs change also.
Yeah.
McCaffrey was not the top running back last year. David Johnson 1 year was the number 1 running back, got hurt, and never the same. Happens. Le'Veon Bell, I picked him 3rd, and he sat out the whole season. Like, it is still a crapshoot, even at the top of it. Oh, yeah. God, what's going on in these screens is just hilarious.
You know what happened? My car had an automatic turn off the lights, so it automatically turned off.
There we go.
My light automatically turned off because I left the car off for like 30 minutes.
Number six, I said Mixon. Number 6 was Mixon.
Yeah, I got Mixon too. And then I think I might have Jacobs and then Hilaire. I am not sold on Drake. I am not sold on Eckler, and I am not sold on Sanders. I just
don't like Eckler just because I don't think they have a team. I don't think I don't think they have I think they're just a rebuilding stage. They got a quarterback, but it's still a rebuilding stage. I don't think Eckler's good. Eckler's going to have a Mixon year like last year. It's all
Mixon was good last year.
He was good toward the end. He started running very heavy toward the end. It's going to have a Mixon. He's going to be okay, but he's not going to be like Eckler. Mixon's going to have a hell of a year this year. With a quarterback, he got his Boyd is coming out strong. They got a tight end. They're going to be good, and I think that's the Eckler year. Eckler's going to be a Mixon year from last year. He's going to get his 1,000 yards, but he's not going to be. I don't think he's a top 6 pick.
No. And he's starting to slide all the way down. I think the thing with Eckler is he puts up a lot of numbers, but he gets hurt a lot too. I can't see. One guy that no one is picking is Melvin Gordon, who went to your team, Carl. What do you think is going to happen with Gordon? Gordon and Gurley are two guys that nobody is picking on new teams.
I think Gordon's going to be picked in the second round, average. That offense,
Would you take him there?
No, I don't support him, and I won't pick him there. I'm a Lindsey guy, and I still think Lindsey's going to shape up to carry the team eventually. Gordon's going to get hurt, or something's going to go on, and I think Lindsey is going to do it. But a lot of people like that. Look at what Gordon does with that. With the offense, you got an offensive coach that calls the plays. And last year he did it with Barkley, passing it around, calls a lot of plays to the running back, and that's why people are jumping on Gordon, because they know it's going to be something like that. If no one's open out there with the wide receiver, it's going right to Gordon, dish to Gordon. And Lindsey's not that type of guy, but I'm not a Gordon fan, and I won't pick him. You won't see me pick him unless he's in the third round. Somebody just don't want to play, and he's in third or fourth, I'll take him, but not in the first two.
All right, give me a biggest sleeper running back in the draft, a guy that be there in the third or fourth round that you're looking to pick.
Third or fourth round, I'm going to pick, and I'm going to stick with him. I had him a couple years now, and every mock draft I've been in, he's been there. I'm going to go with Fournette. He's a powerhouse. That's all he has, and he hasn't lost, and he's also fighting for a contract too, and I don't think he lost anything. He did great 2 years in a row already.
I was big on him until I heard that he's kind of sharing carries with Chris Thompson.
Yeah.
That worries me a little. I like that pick, though. Mine, I'm going to go a little different, and I just mentioned him. I think he's, this is another head coach that loves to use one back, has a really good offense, a quarterback that could stretch the field, even though he lost his receiver, and that's David Johnson on Houston. I think David Johnson's going to have a bounce back year. He could be your number 2 back easily be your number 2 back. He's great at, receiving out of the backfield. He can run the ball. He is not as he used to be running, between the tackles, which is what Fournette does. That's what I love about Fournette. But
you know what I also see a lot slipping down to the third round?
Who's that?
Ingram.
Yeah, well, that's because of Dobbins, whatever his name is. Yeah, the rookie. But he's another guy. Every year he slides all the way down. Someone picks him and winds up, he winds up being one of the better running backs in the league.
Yeah. Yep.
JP, you got any sleepers?
I actually do have someone I think could be pretty good.
Good.
I'm going to go with Frank Gore. I think Frank Gore. I've been hearing everyone's been saying he looks like he's got a little bit left in the tank. You're going to laugh. This guy could be
he says a 40-year-old backup running back. Okay.
But you know what? Everybody who's seen him play at the Jets camp, has been raving about him, saying that,
that's everywhere. Hold on. That has been happening every year for the past 6 years. And yes, he surprises you for his age, but he's still not like a go-to guy. He's not
going to be one of those 1,300 yards rushers or nothing.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say,
I agree,
he is Adam Gase's boy. Adam Gase really likes Gore. He's going to get more time playing than everybody thinks. But that's Bell's team. He was
Adam Gase's boy 2 years ago, and he had an okay year, but he wasn't like you said. He wasn't a 1,300 yard guy. That's hilarious. That's just, you can't make that up. That's hilarious. You went in slow motion, JP. You went in complete slow mo. Are you getting another? He's getting another update. Suffolk just canceled their season.
Yeah.
He's on. All right.
Well, what do you think about Chubb? I mean,
I
thought he was great.
completely forgot about him. Actually, when we were talking about the top 6, I had forgotten, and I was going to put him in there. Chubb is a tough one. Chubb just got a concussion last week, came off of it. Kareem Hunt is there, but Chubb is one of the better running backs in the league.
Yeah.
I think they can both be productive. I wouldn't pick either one of them in the first round, but I think Chubb and Hunt could both put up points for you. If you have either one of them as your number 2, I think you could be okay.
I agree. Yeah, Chubb sits around. I'm surprised because Chubb does sit around in late first, maybe late second. I'm surprised. Sometimes it comes back down, and I'm like, Chubb is right there. I'm like, holy shit. I mean, I'm like, I can't believe somebody didn't jump on him, but they jump on, Drake and this Kansas City guy.
All right, we're gonna. I don't know where JP went. JP, you there? We're gonna end the show now because I have to go watch this Republican convention. My son actually works for a congressman. Did I tell you that?
Yeah, he's going to be talking, right?
It's for Lee Zeldin, and Lee Zeldin is talking tonight. All right, let's get JP's breaking news. I know you just got like 10 texts.
It was nothing. It was just my phone overheated again, and I had to freaking
Phone overheated?
my phone's too hot. It literally had.
Before we go, we're going to go right now. Before we go, JP, can you start your car? Because I have a funny feeling you just killed your battery. I have the strangest feeling that we're going to have to call AAA to come get you along with an ambulance because you just killed your battery.
I haven't had my phone unplugged in. I just had it off.
Is your car still
Is
running?
your car running, though? Is your car running?
Done.
Yeah, my car's running.
Oh, okay. All right, fair enough. How many people you think?
Been off.
Let me ask you something, Carl.
Yeah.
What's the over-under here? How many people you think were at photo shoots at this secluded beach location and have called the cops on JP as like some creeper guy that's sitting there with the light on in his car staring at them?
About 3.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
JP, stay safe.
This
No,
ain't
I'm not saying you're. I'm not saying you're a stalker,
only-
but I'm just saying you're in a secluded part of where you are. I don't want to say where you
They're
are.
watching.
Secluded area.
Stare down
At the
below.
water. It usually is like how you're usually the guy
There's a car next to me.
at the end
There's
of
a car next to me.
Dateline. You're the guy who did it.
Like there's a guy next to me.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
at that
because
kind
he's
of,
on the phone with the cops.
oh, you're at that kind of beach. Good luck then, JP. Good luck. All right, guys. Listen. Awesome job
There's a
this
guy
week.
next to me over there.
Okay,
Slow motion.
JP. Take
Slow,
care, JP.
slow motion JP is the best thing ever. JP, say goodbye. Can you beat that? Can
No.
you beat that? Like he
was
is
quiet. He was quiet tonight.
it's gold. It's gold.
Yeah.
Gold.
Yeah.
All right, Carl.
Good luck on your fantasy week.
We can hear you. We can't see you. Yes, I'll tell you next week that I have the best team because I always think I do, and I usually do.
Yeah, I showed you what the year you won. I sent that to you, 2012.
My team, yeah, but I've come in second like the past 4 years.
I got all the info. You'll see it.
My team last year, the whole team is going in the first 2 rounds. Every player I had last year, except for Winston. He's not on it. He's with the Saints as the backup. But all right, Carl.
We'll see what happens. All right, I'm gonna go watch the TV.
See you next week. Thanks everyone for watching. We got a bunch of comments. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube, and we are live on Periscope every week. And pretty soon, I'm gonna, when I get enough initiative, I'm gonna start cutting up the show too, putting clips on YouTube. And tonight, I could probably take 10 from tonight and be hilarious.
It was great. All right, guys.
So long, everybody.
Mike, have a good night.
All right.